couple buddies that want to come on too. I don't know if you've met them, but my buddy Nate and Jason really want to go on and
I mean, I've
bullshit.
never met them, but I've played fantasy with them, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in the Fight Club league.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll meet them. You'll meet them eventually. I'm trying to see. I mean, obviously Ed's pretty tied up. I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do for NFL draft. So
Yeah.
I might either come down there, hang out with Nate and Jason, see what you're doing. I don't know what your plans are.
I should be around. I mean, I don't think I have anything. It's a Thursday that it starts, right?
Yeah, it's always a Thursday. It's the second to last Thursday of the year.
That's what I thought. I should be good. So if you come down, definitely let me know. We could definitely meet up, or we could just do something on the pod.
Yeah, we could just put it up and just get live reaction.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Watch us get shit-faced drunk.
And
slowly but surely.
Exactly. You can just piss on everybody's draft picks.
Yeah, that's what we're good at, right?
Well, especially the Dolphins. That's easy.
Yeah, the Dolphins are gonna find some way to fuck it up, dude.
Every year.
I've got no faith anymore.
No, I don't either. It's terrible.
Did you hear my rant?
Is this the Tua rant?
Yeah, I lost my cool a little bit.
I didn't hear it, but I heard Ed talk about it.
Yeah, I was hot there for a second, dude. I'm not gonna get back into it, but I was hot for a second.
You went in big time?
Yeah, Ed just sat there like this. And I was just hammering it, dude. I was on a roll and I just fucking hammered it. Fluent Football Podcast. We're coming here on a Sunday night. I'm going to talk a little bit rookies. I got Bryce here. As always, I'm Cody Weber. We're going to hit episode 4 hard. Bryce, what do you want to start, man?
No, man, it doesn't matter. We can go ahead and hit receivers if we want to talk about some incoming receivers that are going to come into the draft.
I've got a couple that we've already hit. I want to hear your breakdown more than anything because we haven't really gotten to talk in the last couple of weeks.
No, I know. I mean, I think your wide receiver draft class isn't full of those game changers, as you would say.
Guys, those blue chip.
Yeah. You have some really, really talented guys, and I think they're talented in kind of their own ways. Like, everybody's a little bit different. Even the guys that are possession receivers, like, they can still beat you down the field, but they just don't have the 40 times to really beat the crazy athletes in the NFL, that are on the back end. I mean, they can, get you to bite underneath and then beat you deep, but can the quarterback get you the ball before that DB can recover and in between the safety and whoever's behind you in the second line of defense?
Is there anybody like in particular you're thinking when you're saying that right now?
I mean, definitely like Elijah Surratt. I think he is probably in my opinion. I mean, he's 67 percentile in height, 71 percentile in weight, and 77 percentile in hand. So he is your typical guy that's gonna get to the sticks. He's gonna get you first downs. He's gonna be productive in the red zone. I mean, honestly, kind of a guy that I compare him to a little bit would be almost like a Michael Pittman. I could very easily see the Colts going after. I could very easily see the Colts going after him to kind of replace him in that position. I mean, he's 6'2". He's probably about 215, 220 pounds. I mean, he's a bigger receiver, bigger body receiver. I mean, he's not super tall, but he's pretty put together. DBs are not going to want to come over the middle and hit him. So, and I think he really has a knack for getting to the sticks, but also still having the cushion to be able to make the catch. Whether it's contested or whether he creates the cushion to give him the room to make the catch. There was another crazy stat that I saw. 43 out of 53 completed catches he had in 2024 went for first downs or touchdown.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that just, speaks volumes to how he is in kind of situational football moments. I think he really understands leverage. I think he understands how to set up his routes. I do think maybe where you hit a little bit of a block with him would be the route tree. just, with certain DBs sitting on certain routes, so on and so forth, picking up on what his tendencies are during film. But at the end of the day, I think if he's put in the right offense, I think he will thrive. You know, I think he's one of those guys that very easily could be one of those second rounders that's taken that gives a team an initial value hit, brings value to that team from day one. I think he's a guy too that you're starting to see more of these journeymen kind of college football players that come from the JUCOs or come from the low ranks FBS up into FCS and then getting to FBS, and
Which that was him to JMU to Indiana, correct?
yeah, he was at JMU, but he was also somewhere else prior.
Yeah, he was at a small school
Yeah,
prior.
yeah, and I can't remember the exact name of that school, but he went there. Uh, can't remember what it was
We
called.
we, we covered it. We covered it 2 episodes ago or 3 episodes ago. We covered it, but I can't think of what it is right now.
Yeah, yeah, I can't remember either. But you're seeing more of those guys, and you're seeing a lot of production out of guys that have played a lot of football. And I think the the uh the rookie learning gap, you would say, is shrinking. These guys are coming in more NFL ready than they ever have been.
Hundred
Especially
percent.
in those skill levels. I think at the line, you still see, the typical struggles. The guys are much bigger, guys are faster, guys have longer arms. Line tackles are seeing the best DNs, to ever walk the planet every weekend. It's not like you're getting, some three-star guy in college that, doesn't have long arms, isn't fast, doesn't have everything. So, I mean, obviously, I think in the skill positions, that they benefit from that a little bit more. The O line guys, D line, they just get beat up the longer they play in college. To be honest, you know what I mean. So, I mean, and honestly, you can kind of branch Carnell Tate into that possession receiver style of receiver. You know, that's really what he is, but he's a different possession receiver than Surratt. I think different body types, different strides. I mean, if you look at Elijah Surratt, he's a really short strider, and he's really a guy that's gonna
Yeah.
sit. He's gonna sit in a weak spot in a zone. That type of thing where he just has a really good feel for getting to certain spots on the field, working through zone defenses, and I think you know there are teams that really need that. They need a guy that can work with the quarterback and sit in those friendly zones. I mean, going back to even just thinking of some of the guys that really had a really good feeling for that, like Julian Edelman. Let's be real here. That guy was not a crazy athlete by any means, but he was super smart. He had a really good IQ, and he played multiple positions. I mean, he was a quarterback in college, so he knows where that quarterback wants to, feels comfortable going. He knows what his tendencies are. He knows what the defense is trying to do. Just the older and more mature these guys get when they come out, you see that talent gap kind of shrink between the rookies in first and second years, and so on and so forth. I think it's a lot easier now for a rookie that gets drafted to go ahead and see some playing time right up front.
No, I couldn't agree more. I love it. A big thing with Surratt, he could be taken by the Raiders here in the second or third round to kind of marry him with Mendoza. Do you think that's a spot that he should be, crossing his fingers for? I couldn't agree with you more with the Michael Pittman comparison. And other than the Raiders, where do you think he could go and make a splash?
I mean, I personally see him going somewhere mid to late second. I don't see he
I don't.
doesn't
Yeah, I
have
don't think he's going higher than that.
he doesn't really have the measurables. I mean, unless some team he works out for a team and they fall in love with him, and he has some sort of rapport that he has built with a quarterback that maybe he trains with somebody that we don't know of. That type of thing. I wouldn't, to go back what you said about the Raiders, I wouldn't obviously I think that you've kind of seen the chemistry with Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. You've seen these quarterbacks and receivers kind of come into the league and continue that chemistry and continue to thrive. Um, I personally
To a
don't
Waddle.
I really don't think that that's like a key for either one of their success. Whereas I think the other two
I
guys
agree.
kind of relied on that. I mean, I think and it's two different style receivers. I mean, you're talking about a deep ball, big play, big athlete, super fast guy in Jamar Chase. You're talking about a burner in Jalen Waddle that's gonna kill you, up the seam and all that kind of good stuff. But I mean, to be honest, the Colts, Bills, Bills would be interesting if they could make that swing. He's not as quick twitch in and out of routes as a Lad McConkey, but he's similar, very similar to that. I mean, I think he's probably got a little bit more of a contested catch radius, like a Michael Pittman. But I also think in the middle of the field and the intermediate stuff, the closer comparison would be Lad. Um, Green Bay. Green Bay is another one that I think
Green Bay would be interesting.
would,
They lost Dubes.
that could use somebody like that. Um, Fuck Baltimore for all that matter.
Baltimore fucking always needs a wide receiver.
Now, do I think that they would play well with Zay Flowers? No. They need to go get a Baltimore needs to go get a a big guy. They need to go get a true one-on-one receiver that can get down the field like a Jamar Chase, like a Devontae Adams, like something like that.
Yeah.
I would not be totally shocked to see the Rams go at him if they can.
There's a lot of talk about the Rams adding a wide receiver here. They try to go get AJ Brown and ship off Devontae Adams. I don't know if they're just not confident in his age and maybe his injury history or what. A lot of chatter about that trade that didn't happen, and now there's a lot of talk about McVay really interested in a lot of these wide receivers in this draft. They're not in a position where they can wait for that to be a hurdle they have to cross. They have to find somebody to replace Devontae Adams. They can't. They're not in a spot where they can wait for that to happen.
Yeah, I
So it
agree.
makes sense.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
makes sense.
it, and like in all honesty, that would be like their Cooper Cup. Work him underneath. He really gets in tight and reads off of Stafford, whoever else is coming along the lines there. You know, I also the Bucks. I mean,
Bucks too. The Bucks are yeah. They're,
they could use him.
I don't think Godwin will ever be. I mean, Godwin's a hell of a player. I might be eating my words here in a little bit, but I don't see him returning to what he was before the injury.
No, no, he's had way too many injuries, devastating injuries at that point, not just little
Yeah,
nicks and bruises and so on and so forth. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, to be honest, I don't think he was ever a number one coming out of college, and he,
I was
no,
never a Godwin fan.
no, I mean, he's good. Don't get me twisted with that. He's a good player. I
He was
think he's good.
always overhyped though.
Yeah. He's good at what he does, and he's a reliable set of hands that if you get him the ball, he's gonna catch it. But he's not one of those deal breakers for me. But I mean, there's a handful of teams that I think would he would immediately impact and benefit in a positive way. So
Talking
it's
about talking about the Bucks real quick. Cause I just have a thought.
mhm,
That team might be in trouble, man. I mean, the way that offense just fizzled out as soon as Mike Evans went down, and then obviously Baker Mayfield had an injury that had a lot to do with it too. But Mike Evans not being on that team this year is I think if you're a Bucks fan, you got to be a little worried.
100%. I mean, you gotta look at the success that him and Baker had, but yeah, I mean you gotta also look at what he did for the city of Tampa too. I mean, he was always there. That's who drafted him. He's been there for and it's just a consistent thing. And it's like at the same time, do you think that Mike Evans can produce in that same consistent level in another city? That
I
type
think
of
we'll see the flashes.
yeah. I mean, I think you'll definitely see the flashes, but it's also like they also have a very hard time of targeting number one receivers because they have so many other weapons, you know? It very well could
Yeah, he's
turn
also gonna be
it very well could turn into an AJ Brown situation, like Philly.
yeah.
Where all of a sudden you're hitting Goddard, Calcaterra, you have Saquon that's running the ball 20 times a game, but also catching it 5 times. You're throwing the ball out wide to other guys. And like, I understand you got to spread the ball around. I understand you can't allow defenses to hone in on one guy, but at the same time, if you're gonna go out and acquire a guy like that, and you got to use him, you know. So I mean,
100%. That's pretty interesting that Philly San Fran comparison because San Fran hasn't had that number one guy. I mean, get out of here with the Jawan Jennings. Get out of here with. I mean, I think Ricky Pearsall is the closest thing they've had to a stud wide receiver in a long time. And that you saying that him coming in, it's almost like an AJ Brown situation is actually really interesting because I didn't think about it like that.
yeah, no, I mean, I think it's just you're you're looking at and it's not so much that it's a bad thing, but it's just the way the offense is ran. Like, I mean, you gotta look at it, and it's like they run a very balanced system. It's not like
Yes,
Patriots with
they're not
Randy
heavy
Moss.
targeting anybody.
Yeah, yeah, it's not like the Patriots with Randy Moss when they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna bomb the ball 50 yards down the field to him," 3, 4
They
times.
fucking could though.
No, they very well could, but I don't see that coming out of Shanahan.
I I agree with you. I agree with you 'cause when I heard that news, I love Mike Evans. One of my favorite players. I got a jersey.
Yeah,
I was more excited for Ricky Pearsall when I heard that news than I was for Brock Purdy or Mike Evans.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean,
I
it's
really think that's gonna do wonders for him not having to be the number one in that
I
room.
agree. I agree, especially with how young he is. Yeah, and you know, how he dealt with the injuries and being shot and all that shit.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
he's had limited time on the field, but I mean, I agree with you. I think he's probably been that guy that has the most potential to be the number one, or shown that. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, he has absolutely flashed.
Yeah,
Uh, he's absolutely flashed. Like I say, it's kind of hard to understand what has gone wrong with his career in a sense because I mean he's had injuries and they bugged him, but when he has been the only target on the field, it's exactly what you're saying. They spread the ball out so much, like they're not going to hyper target anybody.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean
So
that's never the way that his offenses have been ran. You know?
except for CMC,
Yeah, yeah, you just feed him the ball. I mean, it's a run, it's West Coast run blocking scheme, and that's what
one
it is.
zone.
When you when you have the tight end like Kittle, when you have a second tight end that was able to produce like Tongus when Kittle went out, you continue to have those guys that keep stepping up, and it's like from a quarterback aspect. I mean, who's a quarterback's best friend? A tight end, because they work the middle of the field.
Yep,
And
yep.
and it's like, especially a guy like Purdy, he's gonna kind of fall in love with that safety valve a little bit. And I mean, I think you saw really good spurts when he could get the ball down the field, and you saw that offense thrive. Maybe they want to do more of it. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe that's what the whole thought process is change it
Y-
up, get somebody else in here that we can get the ball down the field to, and maybe that softens it up, and then, oh, maybe it'll change. Maybe it'll be a reverse kinda type thing where, the whole time Shanahan's career, it's been the run to set up the pass. Maybe it'll be the pass to set up the run, you know?
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe
That's
adapt.
the whole thing I thought of too.
Maybe he'll adapt, but no, this the back to, kinda wrap up the whole receiver class. I mean, it's very you don't have those.
Underwhelming.
I don't really wanna say underwhelming, but you don't have those blue chip guys that you would have 1 or 2 of them, every year. You have a lot of good receivers. I mean, I think you go from 1 to 15, 16. I mean, I think they can produce, but I don't think that they're gonna be those guys that just come in and automatically change the game.
Ball.
Like, yeah, like a Jamar Chase, like a Justin Jefferson, like a Garrett Wilson, like a Chris Olave. They don't really have that. that go that all those guys have. But like I said, they all have their attributes that can help teams, and I'm excited to see what they do. I think they could really be productive, but it's all going to be depend upon you know what teams they go to, what systems they're in, and what the coaches and staff feels like they could help out with.
Going back on, there's not really that blue chip talent this year. There's not that Jamar Chase, whatever. Like it is this draft is going to be polar opposite from next year. I mean, you can feel it in the air. I mean,
Yeah,
we've kind of spoken on like the NFL GMs are starting to react to it. I mean, the fantasy sphere is just, I mean, it's buzzing, dude. It it's like all of a sudden everybody woke up and realized, hey, I'd rather have a random 2027 one than my 2026 108.
yeah,
And it's like it seemed like overnight everybody figured that out. And like I said, we've been talking about this. The guys who know, there's plenty of guys we follow on X and stuff that there's plenty of guys who know that this draft is going to be a little stinky compared to the next couple.
yeah, yeah. No, for sure. I mean, as far as the blue chip talent goes, you know,
Yes, yes, yes. I still big fan of Carnell Tate. I mean, I do think that kid could come in and be a I don't want to say a Jamar Chase, but that level of player, I think that he could come in and provide a franchise with that. But it's just like I keep saying this with a lot of guys on this, in this 2026 draft. Almost every single one of them, I'm like, it's going to be landing dependent, which I
hmm
haven't been like that. There has at least been one or two guys every year that I've been like, oh, I don't really care where this guy goes. I'm going to be all in. I
yeah,
haven't said that about one guy yet,
no, no, yeah, I agree, I agree with that. Yeah, yeah,
but I want to hit you with a defender. Should be a top 4 pick, David Bailey, Texas Tech. He's a senior,
yep,
had 13 and a half sacks this year, 17 and a half tackles for a loss. That was tied for third nationally. 52 total tackles. Consensus All-American, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, Big 12 Defensive Newcomer of the Year, Big 12 Defensive Lineman of the Year, Lombardi Award finalist, invited to the Senior Bowl. I mean, his resume is pretty fucking fantastic. I thought he was with Texas Tech his whole collegiate career.
no.
Missed it that he signed like a record NIL deal before coming into this year. I've got, like I said, I really just looked at the stats, looked a little bit of the tape. But what do you like about my boy David Bailey?
I mean, obviously, we like the athletic ability that he shows. I think he shows a lot of athleticism at 6'4", 251. Um, I mean, I think he's got a lot of room to grow as far as just the technique. I think he was a way like he had the ability to overpower a lot of people, but not with the best technique. And I think that'll kind of get exposed when you're playing, constantly against those. I
I know I
it's
saw a
it's
guy online that said kind of that
it,
same thing that they were saying that if these bigger offensive linemen at the next level get their hands inside on him, that he's going to have a problem with that.
yeah, he like he's quick and athletic as far as for his size. He moves very well laterally, but I think yeah, and what they're saying is, you get an alignment that gets him up into here. I don't think he technically really has the. I don't want to say he's not powerful because he is powerful off the ball, you know, but I do think he tends to get blocked down or something like that, and then he can't get off the block. He gets hit blocked a lot. He gets cut. They like to cut block him, and he struggles with that. He doesn't have the best hands, so he's not the best with the chops. He's not the best with the rips, and that comes with just a little more refining in the technique. The footwork goes with the hands and all that kind of good stuff. And I think that everything with him that's a negative is something that's very easily developed. Like I think his positive stuff is everything that you can't teach. You know what I mean? So he's got all the tools that you need, but I just think that there's some refining that needs to be done in some of the technique, especially with the ripping and the hands. He showed some inconsistency with that throughout the season. And just, you know, getting off the blocks. He's going to be engaged, but he's got to be able to rip off. He's got to be able to swim off. He's got to be able to get out of there and, you know, get after the ball carrier, get after the quarterback.
Yeah, I saw somebody had an interesting take. They real quick, he had a 405-pound bench press that was recorded this offseason. He had a 550-pound squat. And he hit 22.16 miles per hour on a GPS tracking. I don't know if that was during a game or where they got that number from, but he's a freak. He's a freak. I mean, this is the take that I saw. May have too small a frame to be elite at this next level. Still worth the pick where he's going, but there a lot of people are worried about his frame size. You think that's kind of jogging what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much in line. And like he's quick twitch. He's a quick twitch athlete, which means he can get off the line quick. I think he's pretty good at, I guess, the IQ side of it. You know, kind of reading. He's really good at reading tackles and what they're doing. The guards, as far as if they're pulling, he knows what he's doing. I do think he does have a little bit of a tendency to get sucked up on screens, as in he doesn't recognize that they're going to screen pass and you could screen pass behind him. I mean, but then again, that's a fairly
That's
easy
anybody.
read. That's a fairly easy read, though. You just got to look at the linemen.
Yeah, they could fix. I feel like that's fixable. What he's traditionally with.
110%. Um, and I mean, obviously, in the NFL, you have better athletes behind them. They're not going to be able to just outrun, you know, everybody to that side of the field and that type of stuff. So, but yeah, no, it's he's got the feet, he's got the hips, he's got everything like that to get through and be successful and be elite. But he needs to put on a little bit of power, a little bit of muscle, you know. But then again, it's
Could
how
you
does
see
that?
him then maybe moving him back to linebacker?
I wouldn't mind that. I think he would be a good middle linebacker. Obviously, I think he'd be a good run stopper, and everything like that. I don't see him playing in one of those kind of hybrid steep spags defenses where he rolls, you know, 6, 7 DBs in, and he's playing kind of like a. He's not going to be in one of those coverage sets like a Brian Flores defense or something like that. He like a Mike Vrabel, you know, one of those more traditional set defenses, 3 down linebackers. So that middle linebacker is your guy that's going to take on the fullback, whoever the lead blocker is coming through the hole and kind of jam it up. But I think his if they can put the weight on him, how does his frame handle that weight? How does his frame handle everything that they're kind of putting on him? And does that slow him down hips wise, feet wise, and
Injury concern.
that, you know? So it's, I mean, ultimately it's going to be a decision for him to make, but also, you know, the GMs and coaches and what's best for him, what they think fits the team best. But I think he could very easily slip back into that linebacker position and be a, you know, still be a threat and be a key part of whatever our team is trying to do. He's that good of an athlete where I think wherever you put him, he'd be able to succeed.
I've got him here, 6'4", 251. So where they're trying to get him to add that extra 15, 20 pounds? Is that where that's where they're
He needs
saying he may not have a big enough frame?
if he wants to be because he's an edge. It's I mean, let's be honest here. You're looking that's the same size right there as Arbel Reese and Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles is 6'5".
Yeah,
So you're looking at a guy that is basically the same measurables, height and weight. Okay. But he's developed he's quick twitch. So that's, you know, that's what's giving him that big kind of gap on those college tackles is just his get off the line. I think is just so much harder to defend for them. Whereas when he gets to the NFL, he won't have, you know, that speed and all that kind of stuff advantage over those tackles. But I totally agree with you. I mean, I would not mind him seeing drop back into linebacker. I think he would probably.
and I didn't see that anywhere. I actually that was kind of like just like my thought. So that might be dumb. That
No,
might be
no,
dumb.
no,
I don't know why. I don't
not.
know why.
It's not because you got to think about it too. A lot of these hybrid defenses now that NFL teams are running. I mean, you see sometimes in college too where these edge guys are linebackers. They're just down
Yeah.
linebackers, you know?
Well, he reminds me a little bit. I mean, he's a lot bigger, but he reminds me a little bit like a Nakobe Dean.
Yeah. Yeah. He's bigger. I mean, Nakobe Dean's probably 6'2".
Yeah, I think he's 6'1", 6'2". Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably like 220, something like that. But
I'm showing that Stanford had him listed at 238 just a year ago. So that is probably what they're worried about. Is that he went from 238, now he's listed at 250, that he's got a maxed out frame now.
yeah.
That's probably what the alarm bells are. That they think he's maxed out at 250.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, they don't know what the weight is gonna do on his body. How that's gonna, correlate to what's going on and what he does on the field. So,
That's super interesting. I do like him a lot. I hope he I hope he pans out. I hope he doesn't go to the Jets because that would just kind of suck.
no, he'll be a really good prospect. It's just, is he big enough and can he grow that frame out and still be able to get it where he needs to be and to be fast enough to be able to beat the lineman and get to the quarterback.
Yeah, no, I'm like he's a fun prospect. I think he's gonna be fun to at least to kind of follow this first couple years of his career. It's
You
gonna
know,
suck if he goes to the Jets. He's either terrible and we see a good prospect we liked that it doesn't pan out, or he's gonna rip off Malik Willis's dick twice a year and just fucking no fun for us.
I mean, another thing I'm looking at here too, he's got fucking long ass arms.
Really.
David Bailey, he's got 33 and 3/4 inch arms.
Top top 25% of this class is what he's in, as far
And
as arm length.
look at
What do you see? What measurement do you see?
33 and 3/4.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
And then you look at, I mean, that's another thing too. Like maybe he could get away with being that light if he can get and keep linemen off of
The
him.
leverage.
If
Yeah,
he keep linemen off of him and kind of keep his body free, he can work off of that. I mean,
I agree.
you're looking at, Ruben Bain. I just pulled up his shit.
Okay,
So
what is the deal with him?
David Bailey's got 2 inches of height on him, but Ruben Bain's got 13 pounds.
Yeah,
I mean, Ruben
a
Bain's
different player.
6'2", 263, but he's only got a 30 and 7/8 inch arm.
Do you
So
you think that what they're saying about Bane has any merit? I think this is a fucking smokescreen, man. They are scared from what I see about this guy's arm length.
I mean, it's not so like, that's one thing that I think is like kind of like a non-negotiable for those positions to be able to be successful, is especially when he's that low to the ground, he's that fast, he's that big, he's got that much power. You can't allow somebody to get into your body and grab you, that has 50 pounds on him. I mean, you're gonna have 300-pound offensive lineman grabbing him, every single game. I mean, I think a lot of his problem is that he has the short arms, which have kind of caused him to duck when he wants to and kind of lose the ball. So when he's taking on a run blocker, I see really see it on film where he gets up into that hole, and to kind of keep them from grabbing him, he'll duck here to kind of take him on, and that's just, you know it's bad fundamental football. I mean, you're losing track of the ball. Number one, if you're taking on a lead blocker, you have no idea where that running back just bounced the ball to. You have no idea where the ball's gonna end up at. You know, he doesn't have the best, recover speed. He doesn't have the best really getaway. And he's not really that natural of a rusher, And that's my fallback with Bane, is I think he's 110% built off just like will and power and strength and everything like that, but you're not going to be stronger than everybody in the NFL. That can't be your reliant to get the job done, in my opinion. Now,
I'm
do I think
yeah,
it
I'm
should
really
do I think it should drop him as much as, and be as big of a problem as people are saying it is? Maybe. I mean, it's hard to
that's not the answer I wanted to hear.
it's hard to say. It's, because it's like you look back at, some of the guys that do have shorter arms, but they're also a lot quicker than he is.
I I don't know if you've been kind of following what we've been talking about with the Miami and their draft capital for the Dolphins. Here's what I'm worried about is like, cause like the arm length conversation, like I understand where this is going to hinder him, but he was always involved on that D line. I mean, it seems like, he was a punisher, man. And I'm hoping that translate to the next level. But from everything I'm seeing, it makes sense why his draft capital is free falling right now. So what I'm scared of is that he's going to fall the way to the Dolphins at pick 11, and we're going to have no choice but to pick him up because he's a Miami native. And we need somebody on the other side of Chop Robinson. I mean that I can see where it'd work, but I don't know if you've been kind of hearing the train I'm on. Manzor Delane.
Yeah.
I hope for all that's good and holy, Dolphins take him at 11. I am so in love with that kid, dude. I don't know if you saw on our socials, we did kind of like a little
Yeah, like a
pre
spotlight a spotlight thing on him.
yeah, we did a little spotlight on Delane at the beginning of the season. I can't remember where he came from, but it was his only year with LSU. And
He
LSU
came
was
came out of Virginia Tech.
that's correct. Yeah. Little older, not the youngest corner in the draft, but LSU gave him the keys to that defense. I mean, I thought he was fantastic the whole year. I don't think the LSU's defense was fantastic the whole year, so I think that's gonna hit that's maybe the hit that he took. I love him at 11 for the Dolphins. I think it fills a major hole.
It's a
I think that would be if we could have him for 8 years. I mean, I think that's every bit worth the 111.
Mhm. I agree with you. I mean, I don't yeah, no. I agree. I mean, as far as the value that you're getting there, I mean, I think your value is through the roof versus a Reuben Dane, in my opinion.
Yes, yeah. I think we could easily look back and say that Delane should have been going top 7 or 8. I think he ran him. He ran a 4.3.
Yeah. No, I got him pulled up on my computer now. He got pretty long arms too, 30-inch arms.
Yeah, he's a stud, dude. Like I say, no drama corner everywhere he's been. He's produced. Seems like he's a leader in the locker room. I really am in love with his profile. Whoever takes him is going to have a stud in Delane.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with you by any stretch of the imagination.
I've seen some things too that we might be going wide receiver there if Carnell Tate drops to us. I've seen that a lot because they want to pair him with Jeremiah Smith next year.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that the Dolphins already have their eyes on Jeremiah Smith. They don't care who's playing QB. They'll worry about it in 2028, and that we're gonna ride Malik Willis into the fucking dirt. But we want. I saw some things that saying that if Carnell Tate's there at 11, we're gonna pick him up and pair him with Jeremiah Smith next year, and that's I I could get really behind that.
Yeah, I mean, I can too, but you gotta have somebody that can get him the ball.
You're not a fan of good old Malik Willis?
Not, I mean, I think it's a fix in place situation. I don't think it's a long term.
I think that was pretty evident as soon as they fucking got rid of all his wide receivers as soon as he signed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What's the end game? Is you're gonna go ahead and draft two receivers with no quarterback, and then they're gonna, like you got to think of a receiver's longevity too. Their peak is gonna be 2 years, 2 through 7. And it's like if it's the fourth year by the time they get a quarterback that is somewhat fucking capable of doing anything.
They're gonna want to leave.
Yeah, or they're gonna be like, I'm done with this. Like, like why am I gonna sit here and do this? It's just I mean, theoretically, it's a great idea, but in reality, you got to have a quarterback or you can go get receivers. And
I'm on the train. There's nothing you're saying that's wrong. I'm on the train that, you go and pick up a couple wide receivers, whether in free agency or the draft, and then that following year is when you want to bring a rookie QB in. Get that wide receiver room established, get the line established, bring a QB in so that all he has to do is start to gel with his team and get his rookie year out of the way.
I mean, it's like, I think that plan makes sense logically, but from a, standpoint of what you're going to be putting on the field, what in reality is actually going to happen is there's teams that you could look at both ways that have done it. Like you could look at the Packers that went and got Jordan Love, but then had no fucking receivers, and then they're kind of trying to pull people in, but in all reality, and you know, in history, they've never really drafted receivers nor gotten receivers. I mean, other than when they had Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, and fucking Jordy Nelson. You know, I mean,
Old Jordy.
those are three receivers that are, really, really, really fucking good. And you could talk about that time, but other than that, I mean, it's just it's hard for me to say build with a rookie quarterback when you don't know what you're gonna get out of them. Year one, you hope it's better. Year two, and then what the hell happens when, like, look at CJ Stroud. Thought he was, after his second year, even after he had a great rookie year, good second year, the third year, shit the bed.
He is on the decline fast. I don't know what I
But
mean,
it,
maybe that what we need to do next episode is kind of just figure out what the fuck they do next or what his problem was. I want to say he bounces back. I really like CJ Stroud, but holy shit, what a stinker, dude.
I mean, I think a lot that has to do with, just the how many moving parts they had within that organization this year. I mean, obviously not having the established, veteran running back and Joe Mixon there all year kind of really fucked the situation for him. And I think you're trying to piece together a running back room with, old heads, guys that have been injured, young guys that have improved themselves, and it's nothing really worked because they never really stayed with anything long enough to let it grow. It was like 2 games you saw Chubb, then you didn't see Chubb for, 2 games, and then see him again, and then you don't see him, and then you see him again. It's like, how are you ever gonna figure out what actually works if you don't let it play all the way through? I understand
I
maybe
don't know how they fucked up Damian Pierce. He was so good his freshman year, dude, or his rookie year, and they just stopped using him. They didn't even like. We never really even saw a true collapse on the field by Damian Pierce because it seemed like that the new head coach came in and that was it. They stopped using him entirely, and that was a real crime shame because I think they had one of the better young running backs that was a little older for his class, but he looked like he was going to tear it up, or at least through his rookie contract, and they just didn't do fucking shit with him, man. I think it really ruined his confidence.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I mean, I think the signing of Joe Mixon was a big thing to do with that. Uh, I mean, because when you look at it, that's kinda when he dropped off you know, the cliff there is when they went ahead and signed him and all that kinda good stuff, you
I
know?
think it was before that. I think that there was didn't they have a season? Because Joe Mixon was just there last year, right?
He played a full year with them, did he not?
Yeah, one full year. I think
That year
Pierce
prior
had one
that
full
year
year.
prior that year prior was the year that Pierce went off.
I think there was 1 year in between. Here, let me look this up before I say something dumb. 26 years old now. He's with the Eagles, which he's buried. Yeah, he's been with Houston since 2022. Left in the middle of 2025. His first year, put up almost 1,000 yards on the ground. I think all purpose he was over 1,000. 2023, played in more games, but only put up 415 yards. His average went
way down.
plummeted, but I don't think that's a Pierce problem. I think that was a whole new committee that came in, not in the running back room, in the head coach and the offensive coordinator. I think it was Slowick.
Wait,
I think it was Slowick came in and just Pierce plummeted, man. I don't know what I don't think anybody really knows what happened. Like it seemed like one camp that one camp that he came in, there was already talks about how he wasn't performing well with that new head coach, new offensive coordinator, and like they just didn't play him really after that. 2024, 11 games played, 40 carries. That was it. Average 7.3 yards a carry though. So it wasn't him in 2024.
wait. So I'm trying to. What was he there before D'Amico Ryans?
He was there before D'Amico Ryans. If I remember correctly, D'Amico came in after the 2022 season, and
So Stroud's rookie
he
year.
was. Yes, maybe Stroud comes in, Dameon Pierce sucks.
I mean, I think it has to do with the line though too. I mean, their line has been fucking abysmal.
Yeah, but their line was decent.
It was, but then
Stroud's rookie year,
shit.
and it was
But
decent
then
the year
they
before that.
shit. Yeah, they shipped like 2 guys.
Yeah, but we're talking about before all of that happened. Their offensive line was shit in 2024, and then they rebuilt it for 2025, and it was a little better, but it was shit 2024. 2023 it was decent. 2022 it was better. So like I said, I don't know, but it's not even his carries completely went to the other backs. I mean, D'Amico and like I said, I think it was Bobby Slowick.
I can't remember who it was.
Pretty sure it was Slowick, but that when they came in after 2022, it was already the talk of camp that year, and he was having a good camp. I remember him being in the end or catching balls in the end zone.
Yeah.
In camp against their ones, and like everybody was pretty excited because he put up a really good rookie year, and then he was coming in for his sophomore season, and like you said, 14 games played. They only ran him 145 times, but
Yeah.
from what I understand from reading, it was a whole new offense to him, so he was trying to grasp it. Seemed like he did after a full season with the team. He played 11 games in 2024. Was great when he got the ball, but they only gave him the ball 40 times.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he produced when he had the ball, but they didn't give him the ball.
Yeah, and that's what it seemed like it was starting to connect with him, and then it dwindled from there. Then last year without Joe Mixon, they only gave him 10 carries in 4 games. That's where like I just don't understand. Like if I'm like, did he fuck D'Amico's wife? Like what happened to him? Because like he just fell off a cliff, dude. With as far as usage goes, and it just doesn't make sense. He's 26 years old now. His health was mostly there.
Something happened.
Some happened that but it doesn't seem like a football move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was like, oh, this is better for the team move. It seemed like it was like a
Personal.
hey, we didn't draft you.
Yeah.
We didn't bring you in.
Get the hell
We
out.
don't want to use you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there's a note on your locker, and all it says is just like take a fucking hike. It's like game 2 preseason.
It's a bus ticket.
Coach, next week's the season opener. What are you talking about?
Couldn't even get me a plane.
Hey, you're taking the Greyhound all the way to Philadelphia, bud. Pack your bags. Get ready to learn dipshit.
Taking a schlep.
Hey, have fun there as the RB4, bud. Don't slip on the way out. Why'd they do my guy Pierce like that, man? I really fucking liked him, dude. He was so much fun at UF. He ran so angry with the
that's why they
Gators.
did it to him.
Huh?
He's a Gator. That's why they did it to him.
Yeah, fuck you, D'Amico. All right, listen, real quick. One thing I want to tell you, I want to leave you with, and I want you to maybe we need to do a little homework on this. Arizona University, their athletic director needs a fucking medal.
Why?
They're college basketball. They're in the fucking Elite Eight. I mean, they were in the college football playoffs. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, Arizona should be. I would think Arizona State
college football playoff.
Huh?
Arizona wasn't in the college football playoff.
Didn't they get in this? Not this past year, the year before?
Arizona State, you dipshit.
No, 2 years ago. There wasn't Arizona in it?
Arizona State with Scat.
Oh, that might have been. Yeah. All right, never mind, Arizona. You're athletic director. I don't know your name. You fucking suck.
Arizona had Ted McMillan last year, and they couldn't do anything with
Yeah, I thought they were in the top 12. No?
No. That was Arizona State. Definitely did not happen. Arizona was not in the college football playoff, and they have never been.
I do remember Arizona State being in there. Now I feel like a dummy. Yeah, 9-3. Yeah, you ain't getting in with that, bud.
Against a shitbag schedule, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of good things to say about their athletic director. I didn't know his name, but
You're
I
on
was
it.
going
You're
on
on
a
it with the basketball. You're on it with the basketball, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, I saw him in basketball and I was like, oh, dude, that school's on the up. Little do I know. Ain't.
They should be if they don't they keep hiring they hired fucking Rich Rodriguez a couple years ago for their
What?
football team. Yeah. Rich Rod was the
I did not
coach
know
there
that.
8 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that.
Well, figure it out, Arizona. Fire your fucking athletic director. You guys need to be feeding Arizona State their lunch.
Get a clue, bud.
Yeah, get a fucking clue. Let me.
You need to fucking get a clue there too, bud, Mr. Arizona. Fucking start calling.
Hey, we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about their athletic director right now. Desiree Reed. Oh, it's a chick. Desiree Reed Francois.
God, she's a French too. That's even worse.
I think she is. Oh, yeah. You fucking suck, Desiree. You fucking get a clue, bitch. Well, that one.
Jesus Christ.
That one didn't land. That one didn't land. I was aiming for left field. I don't even think that ball's fallen in the parking lot yet. Went straight behind me.
Yeah, and it's in the catcher's gloves, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck you, Desiree. All right. Well, that's where we're going to fucking leave that.
All right, that wraps up this pod, boys.
Hey, Ed, edit this out. All right, man. Hey, good talking, Rooks. We'll do a little bit longer one when we have the time.
Yeah, man. We'll talk this week. We'll get up there.
We'll break it down, buddy. I love you, man.
Friday hits, the mics are hot, the boys roll in. Crack a cold one, let the bullshit begin. NFL Sunday, college Saturdays too. Fantasy drafts, got us scheming what to do. Talking spread, teasers, money line plays. Who's covering the number, who's getting paid? One guy's ranting about his WI core. Another swearing off the Chiefs forevermore. Fluent football, yeah, we fluent in the game. Talking pigskin props and pick six shame. They're in the cup, lives in the air. Bullshit about football, we just don't care. From kickoff to the final whistle blow, we're fluent in the chaos, let the good times flow. Fluent football podcast, turn it up loud. Just a crew of degenerates, football proud. Easy to start your studs, but it's Arby's on by. Someone trying to flip her trades where it's a steal, no lie. College ball chaos, upsets every week. Group chat blowing up, the underdog squeaks. Bets going sideways, bodies dash and burn, but we chase the next one, live and learn. Pass another round, debate the Heisman race. Who's the real MVP? Put it in our face. Fluent football, yeah, we fluent in the game. Talking big skin props and dick six shame. Beer in the cup, laughs in the air. Bullshit about football, we just don't care. From kickoff to the final whistle blow, we're fluent in the chaos, let the good times flow. Fluent football podcast, turn it up loud. Just a crew of degenerates, football proud. No hot take scripted, no producer cut. Just our opinion, sometimes we get shut. One more beer, one but we know what we like. Grill Aaron gospel preached on a Friday night. Fluent football. Gary Fluent in the game. Fluent football. Beer bats and no shame. From the tailgate to the couch we ride or die. Talking football till the sun comes out. Fluent football podcast. Raise your glass high to the boys, the bruised, and the beautiful lie. And this week we're finally gonna win big. Fluent football.